Ashport, a city on the brink. The winds of the restless sea are thick with the soot and grime of progress. The continent of Valdara is a world of adventure and magic, and this land of kings, of monsters, of heroes, is being dragged kicking and screaming into a modern age. Crime lords battle for control of the city's underbelly, and the common people struggle for survival. All the while, politicians congratulate themselves on being a testament to enlightenment. The Birchfield Institute, a shining beacon through the smoke, leads the way, merging science and magic to improve the lives of those who can afford it. The divide between the common and privileged is growing wider, day by day. Eager to shed Ashport's uncivilized past, the powers that be dismiss adventurers and heroes as mere mercenaries, charlatans, pirates. Only a select few, through sheer nerve and talent, become sanctioned by the Institute to recover ancient knowledge and artifacts for study and safekeeping. Our train heist assignment, which we may have allegedly derailed with a tiger, abruptly ended off the side of a bridge. On the bright side, we all survived. Granted, we had to walk our spoils back home to Ashport, but it was worth it. Robin finally made us official. I'm finally a proctor. Well, we're all proctors now, I suppose. I'll admit I wouldn't have made it this far without the others. Without my party mates, I guess. Still feels weird to say. We'll see if it sticks. But before we delivered the paintings to the Institute, we stole a peek at the remaining pieces of the treasure map underneath. A few steps closer to the elemental grimoire down in the Underdark. And we have our next clue, a riddle on the map, which led us to tease out the word Drake from the letters of the painting titles. The riddle seems to indicate we will find the entrance to the Underdark in one of several possible landmarks outside of town that all share the name Drake. So, armed with a mission, a vague idea of where we're going, and some new gear courtesy of the Birchfield Lost and Found, we're preparing to visit our first guest for the entrance to the Underdark, a cave called the Dead Drake's Chambers.
So you guys head back to the inn, I assume, with your new thingies. You got everything, all your new gear, your new full maps. Is Merrick going to swing by home to pick up the fifth one, or is he just going to worry about that tomorrow?
Might as well.
Okay, so you swing by the home. Your mom makes you eat, and then you head out, or at least take something with you. And so you probably bring like 5 to 6 pounds worth of food with you as you come back to the inn.
Hey, Merrick, can I go back to your place with you again?
Sure. I don't see why not.
Take him home to dinner to meet your mom again?
Yeah, she's a really good cook.
Do you have a thing for me, ma'am?
What? I look taken aback.
Insight check.
Arthur looks like such a baby in his picture. I just imagine this like May-December romance going on.
I'm here for it, honestly.
All right, fine.
19.
Yeah, I got a 7. Seems legit.
Yes, I did roll deception.
Arthur just comes in and is like, Merrick, I'm your stepdad now.
Jesus Christ.
Merrick, I fucked your mother.
What?
All right. Let's wait till this actually happens in character. It'll be even better then. All right,
so just cut this and hold on to it until it happens. And if we forget for Arthur to say that, you just put this in.
Oh my god.
Can't wait until our system that we're recording everything in. Can't wait till that has relationships So you can be like, Arthur is boning Merrick's mom.
Kyle's face is so brilliant right now. It's just my happy place. This did not happen.
So there's saxophones in Kyle's head right now as he's trying to find his happy place. Careless whispers, I believe.
So you guys go there.
Or boys to men. Like you want me
to, and I'll hold you tight.
See, I just have Stacy's mom stuck in my head now.
And
Merrick's mom has got it going
on.
The car's best friend's girl is playing in my head. Thank you very much.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
There's so many songs of this. Jesse's Girl. I wish that I had Merrick's mom.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Okay, guys, remember, we can only do like one line of song per thing or we have to start paying royalties.
We are only doing like one line.
that would require us to actually sing it well, I think.
If it's indistinguishable from the original.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to be confusing what we're doing here with...
Just wait until I get my act together and actually figure out how to sing my inspirations. I'm kidding, that's never happening.
Be an instrumentalist. It's the easiest way to get around it.
Better. You promised.
I promised nothing.
All right. So you guys go and get the... we got a long way to go. Shit. So you guys go and get the food and come back to the inn where the several pounds of food is shared, I assume, with everyone. As you guys identify the potions, the two lighter ones are potions of healing. The darker red one is a potion of greater healing. And the 3-layer one is a potion of climbing.
Ooh.
Ooh, these will come in handy.
Agreed. I'm surprised these ended up in the lost and found box. You'd think someone would hold on to those a little more closely.
They weren't labeled.
My thoughts either they deal with things on a regular basis and the proctors that require more healing than this, or someone didn't need these anymore.
Proctors with no next of kin. Yeah, gotcha.
Inherit the healing potions.
Obviously, they didn't use them
Valid.
in time.
I will not. I don't plan on making that mistake.
So the question becomes, where tomorrow morning are you guys setting out for? You have 6 different locations.
I think we decided we were going to start with Dead Drake's chambers and then go to the waterfall one after that if we didn't find anything there.
And then the maw.
maw. Yeah.
And if none of those are right, then we'll go to the next one.
We keep a list of the other ones as like 3rd tier.
Yeah, seriously. Logan, Val is going to take a list with her of the dragon ones also, besides the Drake ones, just in case we're wrong and it's not a Drake one.
Okay.
Do we want to divvy up the potions, or just everybody keep the one potion they drew?
So I have climbing, Adelaide has greater healing, Arthur and Bonnie have regular healing, and Merrick has the scroll of chill touch, which I don't think Merrick can use, so that definitely should go to someone else who has arcane casting.
Why don't Merrick and I switch? Because I can heal myself, and that way he's got a potion of healing, and I can use the scroll because I'm an arcane caster.
Perfect.
That sounds good.
That's fine. Then she'll just hold on to that. And Adelaide's looking very spiffy this morning. She's in her common clothes because if we're going into the Underdark, that's dumb to get her nice clothes all word, but like little pins polished, and she's just looking all put together and very pleased with herself.
Val's wearing a black cloak over her armor to try and hide any of the glint, just in case.
Bonnie should really buy some more clothes maybe at some point.
Nah, that red coat's perfect. It'll go with
Yeah.
everything.
Can I say that I grabbed a black cloak for Bonnie also? Because she's walking around in a gigantic Red Riding Hood, like, red coat.
Yeah, that's fine.
Red is
Alright.
okay in the dark.
I love my coat. It just stands out a little bit. Here, you might want this. And she hands you a black cloak.
Thank you.
All right, so you guys are heading into the forest. You are heading directly to the Dead Drake's chambers, which is sort of toward the center of the forest area. It's going to take you about half a day to get there, a little less. There's some good paths through this forest. It's fairly well traveled for the most part. And the Dead Drake's Chambers is kind of this bumpy open maw into the ground, this kind of just hollowed pit, but it's kind of a ramp into it, into the dirt cavern. And you're standing at the open maw.
Hey guys, just forewarning, when we head inside, be careful of open like wells or anything that you could fall down, because they're pretty common.
That is sage advice, Arthur.
I have to admit, I've never fallen down a well.
How is that, Arthur? How is that experience?
With you there to save me, it was worth it.
Aw.
Sweet.
I'll allow it.
Shall we?
Yep.
All right.
We head on in.
All right, so you guys are heading down into this kind of musty smelling, very, very earthy sort of cavern. And it's dark. It's not pitch black. There's some light coming in, but it is fairly dark. And it seems to be one large, open, kind of cavernous area. It gets a little rocky at one point, very organic and natural looking. And there's some outcroppings here and there. And you all start exploring. Do you stay together or do you split up? I mean, I'll be able to see each other in this large cavernous area. I just don't know if you were going to walk around to every nook and cranny together, or if you're going to kind of split up.
We'd probably naturally spread out, if not out of sight, but I think we would naturally just spread out and start looking.
I agree.
Okay. So you guys are spreading out. Arthur, at one point you're over in one of the corners and you find what looks to be like the skeleton remains of a couple of humanoid creatures and some of their stuff. It looks like they rotted. It doesn't look like anything. I mean, they just died and they were just kind of left here. None of the stuff is usable. It's rusty swords. Looks like they died. Maybe there's not even a real smell of death anymore around them.
Nothing worth taking to put in the lost and found box.
No. Adelaide, you over in one corner find a very lush kind of plant life up against one wall, tucked behind this little cavern. It's like some kind of leafy plant that's kind of growing up into the forest, kind of like vines, like an ivy, kind of growing up the walls and into it. And around the around 6 or 7 feet up, there's like a strip across where most of the leaves are gone.
Adelaide will take her rapier out and kind of brush vines away and look a little closer at that.
All right, give me a survival check. Merrick, so you're over in your little area and you kind of step into the ground and it's a little sticky and slick at the same time. Like you kind of slip a little, but then you're like, oh, and it's like, what is that? Kind of a mucusy feel. What'd you get in that survival check?
That was a 10.
So it almost looks like these stems of these ivies and the leaves have been like scraped to be eaten, like they're shredded with like a bunch of little tiny itty bitty teeth, like they've just been like they've been eaten like artichokes. Like you just scrape the artichoke. It's like they've been scraped and are being eaten down like that.
Okay, so mastication marks. Gotcha.
Yeah. And right at that moment, Merrick, right next to you, one of the rocks starts to glow and has this scintillating, beautiful color pattern that ripples over it, almost like looking at oil on top of water. And it just kind of ripples. And all of a sudden, this rock is radiating light 30 feet around you. I need you to make a wisdom save.
Oh, joy. 15.
15 just makes it so you are not stunned by this light, as the front of the rock out pushing up from underneath it is this large, and I do mean large, nearly 8-9 feet tall, tongue-like fleshy bit just sticks up, and out of the top of this little fleshy bit, these 5 tentacles kind of push their way up out of its head, almost as if they're unfurling from the inside. And then the top of them pop open, and on the top of each of these 5 tentacles is a large ball-like fleshy bit with what looks to be like bony spikes all over them. It's got like little tiny whisker mouth things right below the tentacles, where it looks like it's got some sort of mouth that has rows of very small flat teeth, good for scraping. And then that's when you notice this rock actually looks more like it's got this huge spiral on it, almost like it's a twisted kind of shell. And we need initiative.
21.
18.
17.
8.
That's a 5.
I got a -2.
Oh shit.
So, Bonnie, you see this light from across the way, about 60 feet away or so, just whoosh, brilliant light, and you see Merrick standing there in front of it. What do you do?
How far away am I?
60 feet?
I start running over to Merrick.
Okay, so you double move up to this large shelled creature.
And will draw my rapier.
All right, and then Val. So, Val, you're about 30 feet away.
All right. I'm going to cast Toll of the Dead. So I need a wisdom save from the tentacle snail.
Okay.
He's a snail friend.
Not a friend,
He's shaped like a friend.
but it's not a friend.
He could be. You could ride him around.
We rolled initiative on friend making.
So that is a wisdom save.
Yes, wisdom save.
I got a 15.
Which does beat my DC.
As it hits the creature, the shell kind of shimmers and the spell reflects back at you. So I need you to roll a save against your own spell.
Well, shit. I did not save against my own spell because I rolled really bad. Shoo, I'd take a D8 of necrotic damage.
Yikes.
I rolled a 1. Thank God.
Hey.
I take 1 point of necrotic damage.
So you just feel a little weaker from your own, a little nauseous from your own spell hitting you back. You're not 100% sure that would happen every time, but it does seem like a possibility with magic. It seems very magically resistant. Who's next?
That'd be me. How far away am I?
So you are about 20 feet away.
Okay, cool. I'm going to run up to it. Going to curse it with Hexblade's Curse.
Okay. Is that a spell or an ability?
It's a bonus action. I gain bonus to my damage rolls.
Okay, so it's a class ability. Okay.
And that's equal to my proficiency bonus. So it's +2. Any attack roll, I get a crit on a 19 or 20. And if the target dies, I gain hit points. And I'm going to make it curse and make it think of salt. And
That's good.
cast Booming Blade and hit it with my war pick.
Okay.
10.
So 10 does not hit. So you swing at it with your pick, and you hit the shell, and it just tick.
That's it.
Adelaide, you are about 40 feet away.
All right. Pulling my bow out and try to hit a squishy bit.
All right. Pull your bow out and take aim and let loose.
That's a 20 total to hit.
Okay. 20 does hit.
9 piercing damage.
So your arrow right into its fleshy bits, and it starts to wail a little bit. It's like,
Yeah. I'm gonna stay back.
all
All right. I think it's me.
Merrick, you are 0 feet away from it.
I will use my rogue class ability to bonus action disengage and step away from it and fire with my bow. 17 to hit
17 hits.
for 8 points of piercing damage.
So your arrow kind of hits near Adelaide's, right below one of its little tentacle stalks, and that tentacle just kind of shrivels and dies. Like flumps over. I guess it doesn't shrivel, just flumps over, like all limp and flaccid.
Did you say flumps over?
He did.
Flumps and flumps.
PH.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's my turn.
Snail friend.
All right, so the tentacle snail thing turns towards the person who's adjacent, which is just you. Wow. Okay.
No, body's right there too.
Oh, good. Okay. And then so it is going to split its attacks between the two of you. It has 4 of these flail tentacles left, and it will be using 2 on each of you.
Okay. 17 AC.
So that's 2 hits on Arthur, and then 1 hit on Bonnie. So 12 points of damage to Arthur and 6 points to Bonnie.
Okay, I'm going to use Hellish Rebuke.
All right. Which is a spell, correct?
Yep.
Do you have to roll to hit, or do I need to save?
They have a dex save of 13 DC.
Okay. I got a 16.
Okay, so they'll take half. So 14 total, so 7 damage of fire.
All right. So he takes 7 damage of fire, and his the shell takes the energy that it saved and converts it into some sort of destructive force. Anybody within 30 feet of it needs to make a Constitution save. So I believe that's Merrick. I believe it's everyone.
I'm 40 feet away.
Oh, I thought you moved up.
No, I stayed back.
So all right. So everyone else needs to make a save there.
12.
Okay, 12 fails.
5.
13.
5 definitely fails. 13 fails. So you each take 3 points of force damage as the spell explodes outwards.
I'm assuming a 20 saves.
Yes, a 20 save, so you only take 1.
I am bloodied.
All right.
My brain was like, noted. All right, I got to make sure I'm healing later.
We have so few hit points. Oh my god. Ugh.
Level 2. Level 2.
Was that its full turn, babe?
That is, yeah.
Okay, so Bonnie is going to attack with her rapier, one of the tentacles. Ooh. So that is a 20 not natural to hit.
That hits.
And that is 8 damage.
Okay.
Then as my bonus action, I'm going to use my dagger to make it an attack on another tentacle trying to sever it.
All right.
And that is a 18 to hit
That hits.
for 4 damage.
So with that, the tentacle that you were trying to hit towards also dies. And it kind of flops down. So now 2 out of its 5 tentacles are flopping down.
And that's my turn.
Val.
All right, so Arthur looks bad, right?
He looks bloodied.
Okay. I'm gonna move over to Arthur and cast Cure Wounds. So you get, I didn't roll great. You get 5 hit points back.
That's a third of what I lost. It's pretty good.
Didn't have to move right next to it, right? I could stand behind Arthur and cast that.
Don't forget you can move, touch, and then move again.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Although I was 30 feet away from the snail and you were next to it. So I think I just have to stay where I am because I think I used all my movement. All right. I'll move next time. I'm done.
Arthur.
Booming Blade again with my war pick. I rolled another 10. Miss.
Okay, so you used Booming Blade last turn as well?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I missed that it was a spell. So with Booming Blade, you are casting a spell and you missed him, so 1 second.
It says part of the action used to cast a spell, I take a melee attack.
Okay, so it's a melee attack, not spell attack. So that wouldn't happen. However, I do apologize. Because of the brilliant radiance around it, anybody rolling to attack does have disadvantage. I forgot about that. So good luck on. Good for you guys. You were doing really well, but now you're not.
I miss even more poorly.
Adelaide.
Same as the first. Just shooting it with my bow from a distance. Disadvantage, you said?
Yeah, because of the brilliant light. Yeah, disadvantage.
Oh, fuck, yeah. That's still a 22 to hit.
Damn.
I rolled a 15 and a 16.
Okay, 22 hits.
And another 9 piercing damage.
Yeah, so it just kind of shrieks back and it's like flailing its flails, tentacles a little bit. It starts to almost looks like it's going to start retreating maybe back into its shell. Merrick.
All right. I think I have advantage because one of my allies is within 5 feet of it.
Yep.
So that mitigates the disadvantage there. I will re-roll that 1 with Halfling Luck.
Always nice.
Gotta love having luck.
It's a total of 10.
A little better.
So nope, you bounce off the shell and just doesn't quite seem to do anything.
Okay, that's my turn.
Yeah, Merrick, if you've seen me hit the shell, that's not doing any damage.
Snail friend.
All right, Snail Friend is going to take all 3 of its tentacles against Merrick.
I'm 25 feet away from it.
Oh, right, you're using your thing. So
Oh, because you disengaged.
Bonnie, I guess we'll do Bonnie.
I'm right there.
Bonnie's there too. So that's a hit, a miss, and a hit. So 2 hits,
Oh, lordy.
12 points of bludgeoning damage to Bonnie
Body drops.
as the flail tentacle just flops her down. And that is its turn.
We are made of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Val.
Okay, I'm going to walk the 5 feet over to Bonnie and heal her.
For those people who are listening, we skipped her because she was down. She made a death saving throw and let me know what the result was privately. We don't let people know what those results are. But it won't matter in this case since we've got healing happening.
Yeah, thank goodness. Okay, so 7.
Thank you.
Perfect. So you heal up 7 hit points, or you feel the energy returning back to your body, your eyes open, and you're feeling a little bit better. Are you going to back off again?
Yeah, because I didn't have to get right next to it, right?
No. Yeah, you just get behind them so you can back off. And it doesn't have a reach, so.
Right, because I think my weapon has reach. Yeah, so if I decide to attack it on one of my turns instead of healing someone, I can hit it from a little further away.
Arthur.
Noting from my past attacks and Merrick's attack, I aim at the fleshy bits instead of his shell this time with Booming Blade again. War pick. Yeah, my disadvantage was a natural 1.
So yeah, you no matter how hard you seem to try to hit that fleshy bit, it just kind of twists and puts its shell right in the way, which is weird because this thing is not dexterous at all. It's almost like it's just, you know what? It must be a mind reader. It just knows exactly what you're going to do.
It can just juke you.
Deep down, it just looks so friendly.
It's a beautiful, scintillating, colorful shell.
I don't want to hurt it.
Adelaide.
All right, Adelaide's going to cast a spell. No, I'm just kidding. She's going to shoot it with her bow. Oh, that's so sad. That's a 10-point difference between those 2 dice. So that's an 11.
11 ain't going to do it either. So you shoot and kind of miss it, just sails right over its tentacly head.
She's going to action surge and try again.
All right. Get that action surge on.
Oh, fucking nat 20. 17 to hit.
17 does it?
Hooray. Another 10 points between my dice rolls.
That's hilarious.
Ooh, nice. That's 10 piercing damage.
So as soon as you hit it, you get stick right in the side of the big tentacle, which flops right down, and it's now hanging there kind of dangling and flopping around. Merrick.
Merrick is gonna kind of flash back to what we were supposed to do when we came in here and yell, Drake? Nothing. All right. And shoot again with my bow.
Maybe you weren't supposed to say it as a question.
So again, your crossbow bolt joins her arrow over the head, somewhere in the back of the cave, clanks to the ground with the 9 that you rolled that nobody knew that you rolled because we didn't say it out loud.
It's a short bow, by the way.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was crossbow. So your little tiny stubby little arrow was somewhere back there.
They use perfectly legitimately regular arrows, Logan.
Oh, all right.
I'm going to defend Merrick's honor here.
Went to the local shop that sells bows and arrows here in the town over, and there are like 50 different lengths of arrow. So it's funny that all D&D is one length of arrow.
Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Angela does not know anything about bows. Adelaide does.
No, I'm just saying it's funny. There's all sorts of different bow. It depends on the draw. There's so much different information that it has to be dumbed down because it's a game. But it's hilarious. Someday I might want to play a game like Roll Master where everything is 100% realistic, including physics and everything. But today is not that day.
Snail friend.
How many tentacles are left?
2. So Snail Friend is going to turn to Arthur, and it's going to come down with both of its tentacles.
Cast shield. Shield. +5 AC.
Okay. So that's going to be a 9 and a 21.
Both miss.
All right. Nice. So yeah. So your shield.
I had a 17 AC +5.
Very nice.
Perfect. So it just flops both of its flaily tentacles right down on top of you, and then just kind of stop right with this magical force shield you have in front of you.
Yeah, how's that feel? Take that.
Bad.
You can talk?
Was that? Oh, no.
No, he can't talk. All right.
How dare you, Logan? I love you anyway.
Aw,
No.
be my friend.
Bonnie is gonna stand up and attack.
Because you gotta get up to get down.
13.
13 does not hit.
Okay, so the bonus action, she's gonna try her dagger.
Dagger.
And that's a 14.
Does not hit. You missed twice. You're just being so hesitant, being concerned about being hit. So last time you're a little gun shy about getting in there again, and you miss with both your hits. Val,
I'm gonna take a swing at it with my scythe.
you take that swing.
I'm gonna guess that a 22 hits.
22 does hit. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So that is 9 points of damage.
So you lop off one of its tentacles. A little bit of stuff kind of gurts out, and it starts wailing like this horribly sad and upset wail. Like there's just a horrible sound coming out of this, and it is very loud. You would guess you could hear this from outside of the cave. Arthur.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to hit it. Like actually hit it.
All right.
Booming blade.
Power move. Actually hitting it. Good job. Oh no.
Disadvantages.
It's brutal at this level.
12.
Nope, 12 misses still. So you're worried about getting this kind of liquid that's coming out of it on you. So you're like, oh.
Yeah, I'm dodging it.
All right. Then we move to Adelaide.
I'm gonna try to hit it. Oh, that was never gonna hit. 10.
Nope, not quite. Merrick.
Never gonna hit it.
That is a 24 to hit
Very nice.
24 hits.
for 6 points of damage.
So you take another shot. You shoot right into the last tentacle. It flops kind of down and is hanging there now. All of its tentacles just hang there like little strands on an air conditioner that's not on. Your little glittery, whatever. Bad metaphors are bad. And
It's okay.
then it's its turn. It then retracts into its shell, and it just continues to make this wailing, horrid sound, but it doesn't come back out.
I feel kind of bad for it now.
No.
Are
No,
there any
no.
fleshy bits left?
The snail's got like a foot on the bottom, so I don't know if there'll be fleshy bits.
Not that Arthur can hit him, but somebody else maybe.
It attacked us first, Bonnie.
I know. I'm aware that it attacked us first. It still makes. Alright. Do we just.
It has total cover while it's in there, so that you would need maybe an area attack spell would be the only thing that could hit it.
Should we put it out of its misery?
Yes.
Yeah. Alright, move away and I'll thunder wave it, I guess, but I don't want to hit you guys.
Adelaide backs away and covers her ears.
Yeah, Val backs very far away.
As does Arthur.
Away from who?
Bonnie.
Bonnie.
And the creature.
You know, it seemed to reflect some of the magic that was...
Ooh, well,
Coming
but
back.
you guys were trying to shoot at it. If Bonnie's just affecting everything around, I don't know if that will.
Just a word of caution, that's all.
Sure, no, fair enough.
Yeah. So once everybody's backed up, Bonnie will cast Thunderclap, which is a ranged, and will affect everything around me within 5 feet of me. Would need to make a con save.
I got an 18,
That saves.
and so it has 0 effect on it, and it is reflected back on you.
Fair enough, Merrick.
So I need you to make your own save.
Which I don't make.
Take your own damage.
Yay. Well, that didn't. And Bonnie will walk away. I don't know how to fix this.
You know, some victories can feel a little hollow,
especially when Logan makes up non-canonical voices for the monsters just to make us feel bad. But we are not here to wallow. Hello, Shenanigoons. This is Angela, and the rest of the cast is here with me to talk to you about Nerdsmith, the entertainment network that we so lovingly founded in order to make awesome, nerdy content for you. I'm going to hand the mic over to Kyle to talk a little bit about some of the other ways you can listen to us across the Nerdsmith network. Go, Kyle.
If you're a fan of Shenanigoons and all of their antics, we also have several other programs of a variety of offerings. So we have Geek Thyself, which is hosted by our very own Heather, who is playing the part of Val in our campaign. Heather, did you want to talk about your show real quick?
Sure. Hi, everyone. So Geek Thyself is basically a podcast where I geek out over different subjects. It's for anyone who likes learning about things but doesn't have time to actually do the research themselves, which, is most people on a day-to-day basis. And it's roughly a half-hour show where I take several hours of research and condense it down for you so that you get to learn while you're doing something else.
Fantastic. There's some other meta podcasts that we have dealing with things in and around the table and involving playing the game as much as actually playing the game. Things like Dear DM and Married to the DM podcast. Lovely Joe Collins, fantastic human being. And Married to the DM, which is hosted by our very own 20-sided DM and his lovely wife, Tessa, who are present in this show, talking about things D&D related to tabletop gaming, what it's like, and relationship advice as well for those of you who need it. I'm not going to cover all of our shows. That's ridiculous.
I agree, but I do think there's one we should mention, just because it is the sister program to this one. Our very own, as we like to say, Adelaide, Angela is creating an audio drama, which is going to be a story that runs not exactly parallel, but is a complement to this story, run in the same world, the same city even, actually the same institute. It takes a look at the Birchfield Institute from another angle, at least this first part will, and we follow the antics of two wonderful characters, and that is going to well, actually this is the 5th episode, so I'm going to guess it's probably launched by now,
Probably.
and it's out there, so please go check that out. There's going to be a lot of Easter eggs that go back and forth between Breads in the Veil and our show. The difference, you won't need to listen to both to understand everything, but you will get a bigger experience if you do. But both can stand alone very well on their own.
So it's also fun to know that sometimes it is our fault when something happens in the audio drama. We just don't know.
Yeah, and vice versa, I'm sure. It's always our fault. Other than that, nerdsmith.org is our network, literally. I mean, we run it, but also it is just an amazing network of good group of people. Even if you don't support us, please just take a look at it and go see all the amazing entertainment that you can have. 100% free content. We don't charge to listen to the content, although it is not possible for us to keep doing this without the support from listeners like you. So if the 8 of you wouldn't mind subscribing, I'd really appreciate that. I think we're up, like I said, 4 in the first episode, right? No, but we have a subscription option on there if you're interested in supporting the show. It really does help us out, and it helps the network out.
And you get bonus loot.
We're going to have a ton of bonus content available from all of our shows to anybody who subscribes, and will always be available to new subscribers. And some of our shows are putting up new content all the time. They're not just doing it once or twice a year, like I've seen some other networks. But I know that, like us, we'll be putting up interviews, and the network Nerdsmith itself will be having bonus content in the background as well. So a lot of amazing stuff behind the scenes. If you want to become a subscriber, and we really do appreciate your support. Nerdsmith.org.
Go there now.
Do it.
Do we?
No, don't go now, because you got the rest of this episode to listen to. But after this episode,
And you may be driving.
yeah, don't do it while you're driving.
Oh yeah, don't do it if you're driving.
Please
don't do it if you're driving.
Would anybody like to make a nature check or an arcana check?
Sure, Arcana check.
All right, go ahead. Does anybody want to assist her? Anybody trained in Arcana that wants to assist her?
I am. I'm proficient. I will assist her.
Great. So you get advantage.
All right. Mm-hmm. 12.
With 12, you do get that this creature is very often referred to as a flail snail. It is a magical creature, and that its shell has like this anti-magic property.
That makes me so happy.
You would know that once the tentacles die, it's going to die. It just takes it might just take some time.
Oh, okay.
And like I said, that the shell itself has some anti-magic properties.
And we got all the tentacles?
Yep, you killed all 5 of them.
All right. It's on borrowed time. I think if we just leave it alone, it won't be here if we have to come back for some reason.
Okay.
So you guys are going to continue and finish checking this place?
Yeah. Just trying not to notice the noise.
So this wail can be heard up to 600 feet away, which is pretty much this entire place.
Oh.
And it takes 25 minutes before it finally dies.
Oh my god.
At the end of the 25 minutes, you can go ahead and make me another Arcana check and another Nature check, both at disadvantage, though, which with help means that you'll be rolling
can
straight.
I inspire?
And that'll be your last chance.
I was also going to say, can Arthur do the art? Like, Arthur and Adelaide were talking about it. Arthur seems to have a little more of a edge in Arcana than she does.
Sure.
And I'm going to inspire Arthur, so he'll get to add a d6.
It's still at a disadvantage, so then it becomes a normal roll.
Okay.
Plus a d6.
Nature was a 5.
So go ahead and roll straight roll.
Okay. With a +6, you said?
Plus a d6.
16 plus 2, 18 plus 4, 22 Arcana.
Jesus. Okay, so the flail snail's shell has, like I said, some anti-magic properties, not just giving it resistance, but also being able to reflect spells and convert the energy into this destructive force. It can do this scintillating shell charge after a while. Very interesting stuff. The most interesting thing is, though, once it's dead, if you can get the shell back to an armor, you believe that they can actually make a shield out of this creature's shell. And for a short time, this anti-magic property will remain on that shield.
Nice. I start cutting away at it.
The creature right now weighs 1,000 pounds. If you were to hollow it out, the shell itself would only weigh about 250, but it is still almost the size of a very small shack, like a shed. So you'd have to figure out how to carry it.
Maybe we just tell the Institute this is here?
Come back for it. It's not, we can't really break it apart, right?
I think I can carry it, actually. Hold on, let me do math.
It's the size of a shack.
Less about the weight and more about getting your arms around it, I think, at that point.
She could stand inside of it and then, walk with it on her, and we just...
You just have a snail shell walking around.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, because it's...
Very Metal Gear.
Your strength times what to get your carry?
15.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, it's not a problem carrying it necessarily. It's just that you're going to be carrying around like the shell of a car.
We'll come back to it.
I could drag it back when we're done, as long as we empty it out.
But you continue to search this area, and there is nothing here. It seems like it's just this kind of cavernous expanse. Now, the question is, do you want to move on to the next area without, blindly, or do you want to take a look at the maps and the clues and maybe try to figure out where you're supposed to go?
I'm going to take a short rest and look at the maps.
Bonnie will play while the short rest. And then whoever is going to be looking at the maps, I will provide inspiration to for extra rolls if needed. Because I forgot how to bard in that fight, y'all, and I am sorry.
I mean,
You're forgiven.
Hit dice.
Okay.
What do we gain? Inspiration?
You gain an extra D6 to your hit dice with the Song of Rest, and then if you're looking at maps, you'll get a D6 for inspiration.
Okay, I'm back up to full.
So let's take a peek at this map.
So you pull back out the map.
While we're conversing about it, does anything glow on the map?
No.
Damn it.
Good try.
So this guy...
Motherfucker, can I look at the map and say the word Drake?
Sure, nothing happens.
Did Val just go, motherfucker, and then say Drake at the map, and then...
No, that was
Oh.
Heather.
Yes, yes, she did.
Bonnie will start saying the actual names, like Drake's Ma, or things like that, and see if anything happens.
Nope.
Okay.
If I put the maps in order,
Uh-huh.
starting with D, so DRAKE.
Like the physical maps? No, nothing shows up.
Is that the actual order you put them in? DRAKE to get the combined map before?
I don't think so, because I think the middle one is the forest.
Okay.
And we had conversation of deceit, which was where
Would have been the first one. If it had abided by what I was thinking, that would
Yes.
have been the first one. Okay.
You're on the right path, though.
How thick are these maps? If I lay them on top of each other and hold them up to a light source, far enough away not to burn or anything,
They're canvas, so they're probably 13-ounce weight.
so I can't see,
Not
see
see-through.
through them. Like there's
No
no
way. Not with painting and a magical layer and no.
Can I roll an Arcana check on the map to try to figure out?
No, but you can give me an intelligence check.
Okay, that's not me.
I'll give you a clue. Arcana would be intelligence.
Yeah, but I have proficiency added to it.
Ah,
Can I try saying Drake in different languages?
that's not going to help. It's a much more mundane solution. Matter of fact, I'll give you guys the clue. It's the same solution you already came up with. You just didn't apply it fully. You got half the answer. You just didn't get the whole answer.
Okay, so what did we previously talked about? We talked about the word Drake.
You shouted the word Drake during the fight.
Come on, Heather. Come on, Tessa.
Let's go to where the name is on the map.
God damn it, Logan.
Wasn't too difficult.
Yes, Val.
I'm going to guess the ones of you that sorted the word out, Drake, only wrote the first letter of each word.
Oh, shit.
The last letter of each word spells out tears.
A waterfall.
That was a hard one to put together.
Way to go, Bonnie.
I had to do a lot of research into words that spelled the last word changed several times.
God
Yeah,
damn it, Logan.
It is behind the waterfall. Bonnie's going to be so happy.
Adelaide just sighs and goes, congratulations, Bonnie. The stories were true.
Yeah, I do think at that point, as Val's writing out the names, you guys just hear, motherfucker!
You keep saying that, Val. Is everything okay?
One of those was Heather.
And each time she says it, I try to look inconspicuous and look
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, each time she says it, like Merrick is like,
Look! And she turns the paper and shows you. And she has like the first letters and the last letters circled.
That's hilarious that you guys got that so quickly with the Drake. And I was like, oh, that's it. They got it super fast. It was too easy. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, they only wrote the first letter, didn't they?
We're done. Well, guys, we're
The funny
done.
thing is, I looked at the last letters and I went, "Oh, I should do that too." And I went, "Nah, that wouldn't be it."
Oh, god damn it.
Going
Okay.
to the waterfall. I'm so excited.
Presumably, you're skipping and singing.
So you guys start to trek across the forest, leaving your snail behind, your little shape-like friend. Does Merrick get some chalk outright property of Merrick? Do not touch except for Merrick on it.
Do we want to bring this back and then come back here tomorrow? Now that we appear to have figured out the map code.
Well, if we make it out, we maybe just tell the Institute it's there and they can just haul it for us. What's up?
Okay.
the snail is not the property of the Institute. The book is.
Ah,
So Merrick is going to, on the snail shell, draw the symbol of the lotus pads.
ooh. Did you just claim that for yourself?
I claimed it for the.
I'm
no one's
fucking with you,
gonna.
it's
No one's gonna
fine.
mess with my family. No one's gonna mess with my family. If we've claimed it, so it's safe here for now. I mean, I can't exactly call my mom and tell her, "Oh, there's a giant snail shell in a cave down a ramp in the middle of the woods, half a day's journey away from the city." She's not gonna give a fuck. You like
I don't know.
looks at Arthur.
I imagine
I'm not-
all this
so-
motherfucker stuff is just internal monologue for Arthur right now, but we are playing it like he said that out loud.
So you guys leave the dead Drake's whatever I called it. Dead Drake's.
Dead Drake's chambers. Also, I just have to say, if we do take the snail shell back and hollow it out, if it's really the size of like a small car, if we could figure out a way to make it mobile, we could literally have a like magic resistant hidey hole for Merrick to be in and shoot people.
We could turn it into a cart. We could like put it on a cart, or like find some sort of creature. You could like put it on a horse, like dig a hole out of the front, so there could be like horse armor.
Yes.
So
Yes. So
it's-
that the opening faces
The
out.
magic on it is only going to last about a
But
month.
then he has a giant snail that
It'd
he
be a
can hide in.
kick-ass pony
We'll,
for like a
we'll
month.
call it the Nope Mobile. If someone tries casting a spell, nope.
Oh my gosh!
So
Let us have our fun, Logan.
you guys make. I would love to. So you guys make it across the forest towards the far side where the river comes in and comes down a waterfall. The rocky outcropping of this waterfall almost looks like it could be kind of a draconic silhouette side, and it's coming out of an eyeball just because there's this kind of rocky bridge over it where the water just kind of worked its way through. And it's a very thick, deep waterfall. As you get over to it, you look and kind of get behind it. You kind of swim and kind of look under. It's nothing right there at the base of this waterfall. So you must guess that it is up higher amongst this waterfall. And it goes about 80 feet up.
Like the eye that is coming out of, maybe?
No, the eye is up top. You're going to guess it's got to be somewhere in the middle if there's some sort of cave behind it. If somebody wants to give me a nature check, give me a good estimate about where they might think it is.
I rolled a 15, so it's a 17.
All right. So as you're kind of looking at the structure, you're just kind of innately looking at the way that the rock has been worn, and you think maybe about halfway, about 40 feet up, that would be the best potential location for a cave to have naturally existed.
All right, I pointed out. You guys, I think looks like there might be an area where a cave could be right up there, about 40 feet.
All right.
Well, good thing we've got a potion of climbing and lots of rope.
I've also got some pythons, and I've got a climber's kit.
So do
Right.
I. Put our
All
heads
right.
together. We can do it.
So if somebody has a climber's kit, I believe that'll give you proficiency with your climb.
I think I just had a Dungeoneer's kit, which had pythons and rope and stuff in it.
The climber's kit, you can use it as an action to anchor yourself so that when you do, you can't fall more than 25 feet from the place where you anchored yourself. But you also can't climb more than 25 feet away.
Got
So
it.
it basically makes it so you can't fall and go squish.
All right. So you start climbing. I'm going to need climb checks. It's an athletics check.
Anybody using the potion?
Does anyone need it?
I wouldn't say no to the climbing potion. Just knowing my athletic skill.
All right, well, hold on. Well, Logan, can I use Merrick's climbing kit and go up and like attach rope so that they can just climb up the rope?
Well, there's no reason to. The climbing kit just anchors you. There's no way to no reason to use it below 30 feet up. So you got to wait till you're 30 feet before it's even worthwhile. Besides that, you can just use pitons to attach ropes, which would give them an easier DC if you wanted to go up and do that.
Which I've got 10 pitons and plenty of rope and a hammer as well. So
Okay.
that works.
Then yeah, can I try to climb up?
Go ahead.
17?
Okay, so you make your first full move up there, which would be 30 feet. So you're about 30-foot mark. You want to take some time to set an anchor here, or do you just want to go the rest of the way and then put the rope all the way up?
I'm gonna go ahead and set an anchor just in case, because we don't have a lot of hit wood.
All right, so you set your anchor. So now you only fall 25 feet instead of hitting the ground at 30. And then you try to attempt to climb the next 10 feet to get to the 40-foot mark.
That's a lot worse. That's a 4.
And you slip and you show why you anchored yourself. You fall all the way down. The rope kind of catches your slack. You're floating 5 feet off the ground, dangling by this rope, and you take 4 points of damage. So you smack against the wall.
You all right?
You don't need to be looking up. She's right in front of you at 5 feet up.
Oh.
She's at eye height, dangling by this rope, just slowly spinning.
She just turns around and Adelaide's like, "Hi."
I'm all right. It's more slippery after the anchor, so I'm really glad I put the anchor in.
I'm glad too.
Right.
And I go back up, and
All right, give me the first check.
do I get an advantage because of the rope? Do I get advantage because of the rope, or is it a lower DC?
No, you don't. You don't get advantage from the rope. It is a lower DC though.
Hey Val, climb the rope. I've inspired you to climb that rope, Val.
It's a D6?
Yes.
Pretend you're in gym class.
I was gonna say.
Now you don't have to spend it now if you don't want it. I believe you can roll and look at it before you spend it.
Okay, then it's 15.
So 15, yeah. So 15 gets you back up to the spot where the anchor is. Then you no longer have a rope beyond that.
Okay, and then actually I didn't need the D6. 17.
Okay, so 17 gets you up to the 40-foot mark, and you kind of start moving over to where the waterfall is, and you, yes, can see that there's something kind of hidden well behind the waterfall there, but there is some sort of opening. All right, so you hammer in a piton, you set the climbing rope, and give me one last climb check to make it from here over to the inside of the cave, and then I'll let you set another rope to make it easier for everyone to get there.
If you haven't used the D6, it's still there for you.
Oh god, that's bad.
Well, you're not falling very far this time, though.
No. 7?
Still going to be 25 feet. 7. So no, you hit the water's just too hard. It kind of pushes against you. You fall 25 feet from the 40-foot mark, taking 8 points of damage as the waterfall kind of slams you against the rocks, and you're now dangling 15 feet in the air.
You all right?
Mostly. I'm going to take the climbing potion this time. It's really, really slippery by the right where the waterfall hits the rocks. So make sure you guys watch your footing when you come up here.
I'll do.
I watched your footing the entire time.
Thanks, Merrick. That helps.
Thanks for the climber's kit, Merrick. It stopped me from hitting the ground, Merrick.
All right. You're competent. We will make sure to massage your very fragile sense of self-worth, Merrick.
He's entirely too humble.
So what does the climbing potion do for you?
It says I have advantage on athletics checks made to climb.
All right, so you get advantage checks.
Okay, so the first one gets me back up to the anchor.
Yep.
15.
Okay.
And then I'm making 1 more or 2 more?
That gets you back up to the 40. So you just need 1 more to get inside.
Okay. That's a 16.
So your climb speed now becomes 30. So with 1 successful check, you make it 30 feet. So you're a lot faster climbing.
Okay.
So you can make it basically 1 round over there. So 16 gets you over into there, and you hammer another piton, get the rest of the rope tied up, which is going to give everybody a 5 lower DC to make it the whole way. And anchor points to be able to stop themselves at 25 feet no matter where they fall. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first. How many checks do I need in a row? 3?
Well, let's start with 1.
Okay.
See if you can make it up to the first piton.
All the confidence in the world in me, I see.
You can do it.
11.
So you make it up to the first piton. Go ahead and you anchor yourself, and then go ahead and give me another check to make it. Actually, it'll just be 20 feet. So yeah, 1 more check will get you inside. She had to get to the height and then over. You just have to get up and over. So it's all 1 check now.
4.
So you slip and fall 25 feet. You take 10 points of damage.
Take 10 points of damage.
The rope caught around your neck. And you take 10 points of damage.
Fuck.
And just twists you and
Wait,
kind of slams you against
what
the
did
wall.
you roll?
You got a 4.
All right. I'm going to entangle myself and let somebody else try.
All right. Well, you're still 15 feet up. from that, or no, 5 feet up. You're only 5 feet up.
Right. So I'm just gonna let somebody else go while I recover.
You're like, fuck this. All right.
That took away half my hit points.
Oh man.
Who's next?
Bonnie will cast Cure Wounds, and she's right next to you. So you can regain 7.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Did you come back down?
I was already down. I fell down.
Okay.
I was like dangling 5 feet above. I entangled myself and like stood on the ground. I'm 6 feet tall.
Gotcha. I'll go.
I'll go last in case anyone else falls, then I can heal them.
Yeah, let's do that.
That's a good idea.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. 13.
All right, so you make it up to the 25-foot mark. Now you just need another check to get inside.
13.
And you're inside, like it was nothing.
For a -1 strength.
So I want advantage on my rolls because I was like watching where she grabbed. You know, like
There you
you can
go.
watch a climber. I think we should get advantage now.
Maybe if Merrick makes it in 2 rolls, I'll give you advantage.
Merrick got a 3 on his first roll.
But that was a non-starter though. You just walked up to it, you went, and no. You don't fall as you're climbing to the first one. There's no damage from that one. So you got to successfully make it to the first one.
It's like when you're starting a rock wall, you just sort of like slip on the first. Okay, I just gotta find my footing.
12.
So, all right, so you scuttle up to the first hook, anchor yourself down, and head over up inside. You need one more check.
14.
And you do it. You just do right along the little rope wall. You see the footholds, and you're inside. Although that helps, but not as much as you had hoped, because he's half your size, so his footholds are very different than yours are going to be. But you did see the previous one, so go ahead and roll with advantage.
Okay.
It was epic D&D lawyering, Mike.
Andy would be proud.
He would.
Andy is Angela's husband, who is a lawyer.
I'm going to roll this one in the dice roller just because my dice are failing me at home. 19.
Whoa.
Right, okay, so you scuttle up to the first one, you anchor yourself. You made it this far before. So now you need one more with advantage over across the way.
21.
Okay.
And a nat 20, you make it look effortless. You're like, fuck this, not doing that shit again.
I jump the last, like...
You went all Ninja Warrior and just like hauled yourself
That is
up
better.
from 10 feet up.
See, that was it. You didn't need your feet. That was, you just like, doot, 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 doot. Monkey bars over there.
I'll pull out my whip,
He gets Indiana Jones panache if he gets a net 20.
swing across.
Whip it down. Whip it good.
Okay, so my first check for the first bit is a 15,
Okay, you scuttle your way up to the halfway,
and then a 14.
okay, and you make it the rest of the way.
While they're doing all that, Val's gonna heal herself.
Okay. The other,
Oh.
but the other point is you unless somebody wants to climb out and get those ropes back, they are now a part of the wall. You've tied them off, and
I'd say getting back down at some point might be a thing, so I don't have a problem leaving them.
I'm fine sacrificing it.
there are jagged rocks at the bottom of the waterfall you don't want to jump.
I was about to say, no, that's what you just... Never mind then.
And I say to myself, it's not my rope.
I was about to say, no,
And
that's what
Buddy
you
just goes,
never
oh, we can
mind
totally
then.
make it. And then we all look down and then there's just spikes. Oh, okay.
40 feet looks a lot worse from up here. So you are in some sort of kind of cavernous area, and as you kind of start to explore it and go towards the back of it, you see that there's a staircase that's kind of heading down and into this mountain.
Awesome.
Bonnie would take the rope off of her pack and hand it to Merrick. Thank you for sacrificing yours so we can get up.
Oh, that's
Okay.
fine. You can hang on to that for now.
Okay.
The less weight I have on me, the better.
All right.
I roll up my whip, put it away.
Val looks a little battered.
Natalie's just grinning like an idiot with that staircase going down.
It hasn't been used in years, but like water occasionally wicks from the waterfall and kind of slides down it. So it seems a little mossy towards the edges. You will need to be careful at the mouth of the never-ending chasm. So our next episode, we're going to have, at least the beginning of, we'll be talking about the characters leveling up, their new abilities, what they're capable of now, and discussing what's happened very quickly up until this point. And we call these kind of save points. This is the point where you can easily come into the podcast at this point, get a quick recap of everything that's happened up to this point, a little background into what the characters think of each other and think of what's going on around them, and then you can just start listening from that point forward. And that's that'll be next episode, and then we'll kind of go into this new part of the first arc of the story, which is the dungeon, the never-ending chasm that they're heading into.
I don't like that he keeps correcting himself and saying never-ending chasm.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
And
did I say
does that-
dungeon? I meant terrible, terrifying dungeon.
Anyone else concerned about that at all? A little.